When someone does a handstand, they're just showing off. I get so many people that make comments like this. Hand balancing is literally a circus art. But is it really just to show off? Actually, handstands offer a whole lot more than just Instagram likes. There are legitimate health benefits. Hand balancing develops great shoulder strength and stability. It enhances full body proprioception, balance, and coordination. It's a good introduction to key concepts in movement training. For instance, understanding your center of mass over your base of support, which translates to pretty much every athletic endeavor. And so, are handstands really just for show? Of course, they are quite the spectacle, but they also are a powerful tool for growing a healthy, functional human body. If you truly want to master your body, developing even a basic proficiency in hand balancing will open up a whole new world of possibilities for your movement practice. A massive variety of movement disciplines involve an element of hand balancing, including calisthenics, acrobatics, breakdancing, yoga, and even some martial arts, including capoeira. Aside from becoming skilled, hand balancing supports a physique that looks like the Grecian ideals many people strive for. Broad shoulders, a thin waist, a good body composition that isn't overly muscled. But this kind of physique is the common result of years of calisthenics training, hand balancing, and is what a fit human body looks like naturally. I will admit that while I'm all for focusing on movements that we evolved for, humans obviously did not evolve to walk or to stand on our hands. But if you are like me and want to train handstands simply for the strength, for the awareness, for the aesthetics, because it opens up new possibilities in your movement practice, or just for the fun of them, then let's learn 2 drills to make hand balancing more accessible and safer to get us started. Please keep in mind that handstands require optimal shoulder flexion overhead, wrist extension, and shoulder and wrist stability and strength in order to comfortably support your body weight upside down. Before beginning any hand balancing practice, ensure that you can complete this shoulder flexion test, bring your spine flat against the wall and raising your arms up overhead, bringing the entire length of your spine and your arms to the wall simultaneously, and that you feel comfortable performing planks with an open palm and push-ups with an open palm. If you feel you're lacking in these prerequisites, then you can try out some tutorials in the Evolution library that I'll list in the description. So first off, we're going to use the wall to learn how to perform a cartwheel with assistance and how to fall out of a handstand safely. So we're going to start measuring one leg's distance away from the wall, approximately. And this is where we're going to place our hands on the floor. We're then going to walk our feet up the wall and find roughly a 90-degree bend at the hips, or what we call the pike position. We're going to push tall through the shoulders, sealing the gap between shoulders and ears. And then we can begin our assisted cartwheel. We need to shift our weight into one hand, push, and then take a step, internally rotating the fingers on the other side. From there, we're going to lift that same side foot from the wall, kick off, and cartwheel to that side. Or essentially do like a half cartwheel to that side. Now, once you get comfortable doing this with a pike in the hips, so that 90-degree angle in the hips, we can start to walk the feet higher and walk the hands closer, finding something that resembles more of a handstand shape, and do the same thing. Internally rotate one hand and kick off, cartwheeling to that side. Of course, you want to be practicing both sides so that you get skilled evenly. Another tip is to superset your assisted cartwheels on the wall with cartwheel attempts in free space. So once you've practiced 1 rep going to either side, then you might practice a cartwheel free going 1 rep to either side, take a rest, and then continue 4 sets. We can also use the wall to perform an L handstand using assistance. For this one, measure 1 leg's distance away from the wall, approximately. This is where our hands are going to be placed on the floor. And then we're going to walk our feet up the wall, finding a 90-degree bend, roughly, at the hips. Notice my heels are touching the wall here. I've got my feet flat. I'm going to push tall through my shoulders, brace my core, and then I'm going to raise 1 leg up into the air and squeeze my butt to find that nice straight line from wrists to the tips of my toes. Continuing to push tall, you'll notice now my heel is going to press away from the wall. So I'm sort of pressing through my toes, but I don't want to use this foot to balance. I want to be using my hands to do the balancing. My foot is there just to provide that little bit of feedback, maybe just the tips of the toes, and it might even float off the wall for brief moments. You can then bring that leg down, slowly come out of your handstand, and rest before trying the other side. Make sure you're using your hands to find that balance point. Do not push off the wall with your feet, because you don't use your feet to do a handstand, you use your hands to do a handstand. This drill can also be done if you don't have a wall with some kind of a tall box, something that is about hip height. And you can place the other foot on the top of that box. Now, in that case, you don't really push off the box. Your feet just kind of floats up off the box, but otherwise it's more or less the exact same drill. So now you've got a couple of places to begin your hand balancing practice. I'd recommend adding these into your upper body training days, depending on how you split up your training, before you do your strength work. Hand balancing is a skill that requires physical effort as well as mental focus. Practice them when you're fresh, not when you're fatigued. But please ensure that you've got those prerequisite mobility and strength foundations. Start with a couple sessions a week, and once your shoulders and wrists are more conditioned, you can start practicing handstands every day in short sessions. This is ideal for learning technical skills and gives your brain a chance to adapt as well as your body. We just updated our hand balancing program on EVCO, complete with 3 separate phases to take you from foundations, including all the mobility prerequisites, up to mastering your straight line handstand. We even include introductions to shapes like the tuck handstand, and soon we'll be including a new phase, a 4th phase, to unlock the press to handstand. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Every click, every like, every subscription helps us spread evolutionary perspective of fitness and calisthenics for everyone. Happy hand balancing, tribe. I will see you in the next video.